July the 6th, peas and vetches. A whole host of new plants with pea-like flowers are now starting to appear. They include an impressive range of bright, clear colours, with many possessing some delicate penciling on the petals. There is a confusing group of true peas, vetches, vetchlings, clovers, trefoils, tares, melilocks, and greenweeds, some of which can be quite difficult to identify in the field with any great certainty. The typical pea flower has two distinct wings on its sides, an erect standard in the middle, and a keel below made up of two petals joined together. Within the keel, the stars and stamens can be found. The petals themselves can be a great range of colours, and in some species, even change colour. Three of the most commonly encountered are tufted vetch, Vicia cracker, bush vetch, Vicia sepium, and common vetch, Vicia sativa. The first has a very one-sided flower head, made up of many bluish-violet flowers almost crushed together. Bush vetch has a smaller number of flowers, which are reddish-purple with distinctly darker wings. Common vetch has even less flowers, often just groups of two along the stem, which are usually purple but can be pink. Another quite commonly encountered attractive yellow pea in London is the meadow vetchling, Lathyrus potensis, which is also found in gardens. A similar but paler yellow pea could be the very much rarer yellow vetch, Vicia lutea. There are also other, usually short-lived colonies of peas that turn up from time to time, for example, the bright crimson tuberous pea, Lathyrus tuberosus, and the Tangier pea, Lathyrus tingitanus, which may owe its appearance to discarded birdseed. The hairy vetchling, Lathyrus hirsutus, with its red and blue flowers and dragon's teeth, Tetragonolobus maritimus, which has bright yellow flowers on long stalks, are two more. A much larger, brighter pink pea, familiar to railway computers, is the broad-leaved everlasting pea, Lathyrus latifolium, which is common on railway embankments. Its flowers can vary from pink to purple, and even magenta. It has a rarer close relation, the narrow-leaved everlasting pea, Lathyrus sylvestris, which unsurprisingly can be separated by its leaf width. Other striking large pea flowers include sainfoin, lucerne, and wild licorice. Sainfoin, Onobrichis vicifolia, is a dramatic pink with purple veins and is beautiful enough to be included in the list of plants that made up the hay in Christ's crib. While licorice, Astragalus glyciphylos, has unusual pale cream flowers, which are slightly greenish. This is not the licorice we eat, which is another species. This has a sweet taste, which eventually turns to an unpleasant bitter one. Lucerne, or alfalfa medicago sativa, has been grown as a crop since the 17th century. It was believed to increase milk yield and fatten horses. More recently, it has been grown for silage. Wherever it is seen, alien plants would appear nearby. Whenever was seen, alien plants would appear nearby, especially star thistles. These have very fierce spines, which Gerard points out, quote, were not to be touched without hurt. Both lucerne and wild licorice can still be found on Headley Heath. Then there are the peas found in the wild that originated from our gardens. For example, the broad bean, Vicia faber, spring vetchling, Lathyrus vernus, the true everlasting pea, Lathyrus grandifolia, and the most celebrated of all, the sweet pea, Lathyrus odoratus. Two much smaller, almost tiny, scrabbling species are the smooth pea, Vicia tetrasperma, and the hairy tare. Are the smooth tare, Vicia tetrasperma, and the hairy tare, Vicia hirsuta. These are the tares mentioned in the Bible as wild plants that spoil crops. Their seeds were not easily separated from grain, resulting in an unpleasant taste in the flower. Hairy tare has slightly paler purple flowers than smooth tare, and its calyx is much hairier. Among this wonderfully diverse group of July flowers, one of the rarest and possibly the most beautiful is the wood vetch, Vicia sylvatica. Its flowers have creamy white wings and keel, but a pale violet standard covered in fine purple veins. This is now gone from London, but for any budding enthusiasts, it can still be found in the Chilterns. The rest of London's peas are well distributed, especially in hedges, grassy areas, railway embankments, and areas of heath. Horsden Hill is a good place to find a variety of these plants. Thistles. Most thistles flower in July. Even early species which are running to seeds will still sport a flower or two. As most of them are now tall, we tend to notice them more. The least attractive is unfortunately the most common. This is the creeping thistle, Cirsium alvense, which forms large dull patches due to its creeping habit. The next most likely to be encountered is the spear thistle, Cirsium vulgare, which seems to be in every corner of London with its long ferocious spines, both on its leaves and especially on its stems. The welted thistle, Carduus acanthoides, is another common species which is more often seen on roadsides. Its stems are distinctly winged or welted along their sides, and its leaves are very spiny and slightly waved. The marsh thistle, Cirsium palustre, is similar to the welted, but found in damper areas. It has lines on its stem, which the welted has not. It also has a winged stem, but in this case the spines are purple. This thistle can be the most elegant of all when seen in abundance, especially in one of its preferred habitats, that is the wet sides of paths in damp woods. Then it can reach 2 meters in height with long, imposing, upward pointing branches carrying either white or purple flowers. Other thistles seen this month are less easily confused. The woolly thistle, Cirsium eriophorus, is huge and with a very woolly flower head, which later develops red-tipped spines. The milk thistle, Silybum marianum, like the woolly thistle, is rarely seen in the wild, but is often planted in gardens due to the attractive milky white markings on its leaves. The giant downy thistle, also noticed in gardens, is the Scotch or cotton thistle, Onopordum acanthium. Being so impressive, it is often said to be the thistle emblem of the Stuarts in Scotland, although the humble spear thistle is a much more likely candidate. On downland, 2 other much smaller thistles get noticed, especially by picnickers when they sit on them. One looks golden yellow and opens and closes its flowers depending on how wet it is. This is the carline thistle, Carlina vulgaris. The other is the stemless thistle, Cirsium acole, which is purple rather than golden and not surprisingly stemless. Another less often seen but attractive thistle is the slender thistle, Carduus tenui florus. This is best looked for along the tidal Thames. It is similar to a welted thistle, but more slender and with much paler flowers. A very rare casual is the yellow-flowered star thistle, Centaurea solstitialis, which is more at home around the Mediterranean. Arguably the most beautiful of the whole group is the musk thistle, Carduus nutans. It has large, drooping or nodding flowers with no spines on its stalks. It has a musky scent that even extends to its leaves, and it can still be found in heavily grazed areas along the Colne Valley. In such places, it often stands quite alone. If near a house, its presence was always a good omen, indicating the building would never be hit by lightning.